And anyway, so I went to the job fair, had the resumes, walked in, lines were just like ridiculous. At every little station, there was like 50 to 100 kids holding their little resume, like getting ready to talk to these people. And I was like, shit, like I'm so late. This thing ends in like 30 minutes. I'm like I'm getting anxious. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to talk to anybody. This is a waste of time. I'm dressed all nice. And I walk over to this one table, and like I said, it has a huge line to it. But there's car components on the table. I'm like, I could talk about those. You know, like I know what those are.
Yeah.
So I see someone walking back with them. The company was called Mahle, M-A-H-L-E. See him walking back to the table. And I'm like, I'm gonna just walk right up to him. Like, screw this line. I literally just walked around the line, walked right up to him, shook his hand, introduced myself, started talking about my patent, or my resume, and then he noticed the patent, so we started talking about the patent. And he was asking me about it. I was pulling up pictures on my phone. He was like really impressed. So all of a sudden he's like, hey John, come here. And John's with like, I don't even know if his name was John, but John was with
John Doe.
Yeah, John Doe was with another student. He got pulled away. So John and then the other guy were talking. And then all of a sudden they're like, Jimmy, come here real quick. All of a sudden that huge line, every single Mahle worker was talking to me. I had just cut the line. So I probably looked like the biggest asshole in the world. These kids were like, screw this.
That's initiative though. But
I did it, and they're like, I want to interview you tomorrow. So I was like, okay, sweet. So this was on Thursday, interviewed Friday morning. Interview went really well. It was one of the guys that was there, and then like another guy that was higher up. The guy that was higher up was like, I want you to actually meet the president of the company. He's in Buffalo right now. This is a worldwide company. They build high-end, it's kind of weird. They build like high-end race car components. But then they also build air conditioning systems for everyday cars, like all the ducts and canals and stuff like that. Huh. So basically they get the schematics of the car from the car manufacturer, and they design like a functional system, like all the tubes and ductwork, that works efficiently with the car build. So that's what they do. So I went to the actual headquarters in... I don't know if it's like it's not the worldwide headquarters, but whatever it is in New York State. It was like out past Lockport. And I went in there, I think the interview went pretty well for the first, majority of it. They were talking about the patent again, wanting to know all about it. And the one guy started talking to me about like business. Because he could tell that I wasn't an engineer. He was like, so what do you plan on doing with these? See, I could tell you're like really passionate about it. But like, he's like, I could tell that you're not speaking like an engineer would about this stuff. Like you see more than, the engineer. Like he's like, I see something. He said, look, just come here real quick. So he took me in the hallway and we walked up to this like wall of plaques. And there was all these workers in the company. And underneath it would show like what patent that worker was able to produce for the company. But he's like, this is all they have to show for it because the company owns the patent. So the company might be making millions of dollars off that product that guy made, but all he has is this goddamn plaque. So he looked at me and he's like, all right, let's go back into the room. And I'm like, I have this weird feeling in my stomach. It's almost like I'm interviewing to get this job, but he's saying, run away. Yeah. Basically. So I got back in the room and the rest of the conversation was basically like, run with it, take that, run. And I left.
That's a strange.
Weird, right? I got in my truck and I was like, how did that even go? Like, how did that go well? Like, did they like, And I went to UB the next morning, dropped out